Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're indoors today because it is time to talk about yet another chicken breed. Today I'm going to talk about a breed that you might have heard of, but you might not have seen. I'm talking about the Lakenvelder chicken. This is a bird that came from Germany and the Netherlands originally. It's thought to be a distant relative of the Campine and the Brakel, though it's not closely related, and it was popular in the first half of the 1800s. It was popular as a dual-purpose breed, both for meat and for eggs. However, it would later be replaced by the far more productive Barnevelder. So the Lakenvelder kind of fell out of favor and it never really recovered. Even though today it is a little more popular in Germany and the Netherlands than it is elsewhere in the world, it's still not a popular breed and is considered a rare breed today. In the United States, it was admitted to the standard of perfection in 1939. So it is an officially recognized breed both in the US, the UK, and elsewhere, but it never really took off. It wasn't really good enough at anything for it to be a super popular breed. However, it is a beautiful breed. The plumage patterns are just amazing. But it does take a lot of breeding to get that beautiful pattern. You're going to have a lot more fails than not when you're breeding Lakenvelder chickens because that plumage pattern is so striking, but it's also difficult to get. And it's important to remember that you can't really judge based on your juveniles. With a lot of chicken breeds, you can look at a juvenile chicken and go, yeah, that one's probably going to hit the show ring, or no, that one's not really up to snuff. But it's a lot more difficult with Lakenvelders, especially with that plumage pattern. You can't really use the juvenile plumage pattern as a reliable indicator of adult quality. So if you are breeding Lakenvelder chickens, you're going to find yourself keeping a lot of the offspring into adulthood just so you can identify which birds are really perfect and which birds fall a little bit short. Now, they do lay about 190, 180 tinted eggs per year per hen. And so that doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not. It's okay for a dual purpose, not good for a layer, but these are dual purpose, so you can get away with that. However, they're also not great as meat chickens. So they're okay, but they're not as big as, say, a Barnevelder, so they're not great for a table bird. And that's why they fell out of favor because they're good at laying, but not good enough. And they make a decent table bird, but they're not good enough. So because so many other dual-purpose breeds beat them out in both, such as your Orpingtons, your Barnevelders, even your Sussexes, this bird really, even though it was originally a dual-purpose bird, today it really is more of a pet. So you get them in black and white. You can see from the photos, they are black and white chicken. They have the black hackles and the black tail feathers, and they have some black on the wings, and they're just a beautiful bird. But they make really good pets, really good exhibition birds. I wouldn't use them as a dual-purpose breed myself. There are just so many other breeds that you could grab and use them as dual-purpose. So if I were having a dual-purpose breed, my preference would be the Sussex. The Lakenvelder just isn't big enough to use as a table bird, and it doesn't lay well enough to get specifically so it will lay eggs. So, like I said, they make wonderful pets because they're really, really friendly, and they're really striking to have wandering around in your barnyard because they're absolutely stunning birds. Also, they're, again, a rare breed, so if you do want to show them, you won't have a ton of competition unless you're in an area where there's a lot of Lakenvelders, which is rare. But you won't have a ton of competition just because these guys are a rarer bird. And the Rare Poultry Society, in fact, tends to take over the preservation for them because they don't tend to have their own groups because they're so rare. So they're definitely worth breeding, and they're definitely worth having in your flock. They're easy to handle, very friendly, make very pleasant pets, but I wouldn't use them as a dual purpose, even though that is technically what they would be classified as. I wouldn't use them for that simply because there are other birds that are better at dual purpose. I would use them for pets, and in fact, I am going to add these to my flock because they are absolutely stunning. That's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about the Lakenvelder. We'll see you tomorrow.